Now, do you want to hear something that I've never said on the channel? I've definitely never said this, and the reason is because it is horrifically embarrassing. Hi folks, and welcome back to The Plot. Today we're going to be talking a bit about how my kind of relationship with my garden has changed and how I've learned to love my garden. I'm really looking forward to doing that, but there's one very important thing that we need to do beforehand, and that is the Tony C. Smith Water Butt Challenge. Now, Tony coined this very recently on his video, but I will say, actually, I think I gave him the idea for this on one of our live streams on the Potty Mouth Garden Club, but we kind of get a bit of a reputation down south for always having lovely, gorgeous weather, and I must admit, today is, you know, a good example of a nice day like that, but we have had it very, very cold, so let me get in here and try and break this up and see. It's solid. See how thick it is. I do quite enjoy seeing what everyone's kind of weapon of choice is with this. Mine is a brick. I think there's probably better choices. I must say, I'm a bit surprised by this. I just couldn't break this ice enough. So what I've done is I've broken a hole, scooped out the water, and now I can go down and we can see. Now I'll ask Tony what he thinks, whether or not does this abide by the rules? It's difficult to actually see, but I cannot get this ice out. 4 inches, I think that's pretty good for the water butt challenge. It's a lot bigger than Tony's was when he did his first video. So we'll see if he allows that in accordance with his rules or not. There were no rules. Anyway, on to the actual video and the kind of point I wanted to make today. You know, it's that time of year, isn't it? We're coming into the new year and starting to reflect on how the year's gone. And for me, grow-wise, pretty pants. Pretty pants. But the thing that does really stand out to me is that this year it feels like my relationship with the allotment and my garden has changed quite dramatically, actually. And the allotment has gone from becoming something that I used to be stressed out about quite a lot to somewhere that I just really enjoy being. And it's quite funny that that's happened on a year that really has basically not been good in terms of, you know, the growing results. I'm gonna pop you down. And it's especially my chili peppers as well. I had a really, really bad year for the chili peppers, but I've been trying to kind of place, you know, exactly what's changed and why I've been finding so much more joy in the garden, and I realised it's because I've allowed myself to come up and do nothing. And a big part of that, it's weird, it's like such a small thing, but it's been a catalyst for quite a big change. Cups of tea. I now kind of, as a routine habit, bring something with me to the allotment, and I was starting to do this a bit more in summer as well, you know, bringing lunches, things where they just allow you to kind of stop and enjoy. And it sounds so silly, you know, it's such a small thing, but it feels like it's just made the world of difference. And an interesting way that I would kind of sum this up is I was thinking about last year, and if someone asked me, you know, as I was on my way to the allotment, what are you going to do today, JB, you know, what's your plan for the day? I would go, well, I need to start by mowing, and then I need to weed, and then I need to edge the beds, and then I need to get sowing the successional lettuce salad sowings, and then I need to get my brassicas out, and I need to, have I got the lime? Have I got the thing to make the brassicas go in the ground properly? And, you know, I could go and go and go, and my mind would start to spiral, and I would have this massive to-do list, and it's not that I don't enjoy gardening, you know, I enjoy all that whole process, and I enjoy being out here, but it was getting a bit much, you know? Like, it's just a little allotment, it's just a hobby. You have to enjoy it along the way. And I think the main tool that I've used to kind of calm my brain down a bit and switch off that to-do list is by just stopping and taking a moment. It's so small. But what it means is that on days like today, I come to the plot, I have nothing to do. I don't have a to-do list today. I'm just here to enjoy myself. And normally on these days, I obviously don't bring the camera because I think, well, what is there to talk about? Normally I bring the camera on days where there's jobs and things to be doing, or there's things that I want to show you. And today I just wanted to share this which is nothing really, is it? But I cannot recommend that you do this enough. It was my tip of the week a little while ago on our garden live streams, and since kind of saying it, I've been doing it myself more, and it just makes me feel better and better about my garden. It means that you start to worry less about what it looks like, because you know that it means more to you. It starts to become a place that you enjoy, not a place where you come to do work, which is very much how it felt for me. And it kind of makes sense, I think, with that first year where everything was terrible. You know, I had to get stuck in, had to go. And I've always got something that's got time pressure, like the greenhouse. And it's good to have that, you know, it's good to have that kind of stuff that keeps you going, keeps you motivated. But it can be too much, you know, it can be an awful lot. And to be able to just sit back on days like today and enjoy the silence, you know, the quiet, the fresh air, the sunshine, it's just bliss. It really is bliss. And doing that this year, in a difficult year as well, has just made me grow to really appreciate the allotment as a space. But I can't recommend this enough, especially this time of year where maybe there isn't that much to do or you get prevented from doing things. But even in the height of the season, I think it's a really good idea to just allow yourself. Doesn't matter if you come up and the grass is growing too long, it's the height of summer, maybe you've got stuff that's dying in the greenhouse, or, you know, there's just stuff that's going wrong. Sometimes you just need to come up, sit in the shade of an apple tree, just have a little bit of lunch, have a nice drink, just enjoy this space. That's the message that I'm kind of trying to put out there. Just actually enjoy your space and don't just treat it as a list of work jobs. And the funny thing is, it sounds easy, doesn't it? What's easier than doing nothing? And actually, I think it's probably the hardest thing to do. I think it's really, really difficult to switch off that part of your brain where, you know, you need to be getting stuff done. You've got that going on and on and on. And it's so difficult to actually ignore that sometimes, I think. There will be people out there who they've got this cracked, you know, they've got this they've been doing this the right way for years, and they've got that nice relationship with their allotment. But I think this is a really key thing, especially if you're starting kind of a new plot or taking a new one on. I just think it's so important to kind of, you need to put time into building this relationship with your allotment or your garden that isn't just about working in it and doing the work and getting stressed about the work. Now, do you want to hear something that I've never said on the channel? I've definitely never said this. And the reason is because it is horrifically embarrassing. But there have been so many times where I've been this close to giving up the whole plot and just saying, you know, no, it's too much. I cannot keep on top of this at all times. And the reason that is embarrassing to admit is because we don't even have kids, you know, we don't have little kids and toddlers running around demanding our attention. I've got a relatively easygoing job. You know, it's rare that I have to work 50 hours a week. I quite often get flexi time, which allows me to record on a Friday morning, for example. You know, things are pretty good. My allotment is half a plot. It's not even that big. And, you know, even when it's like that, life can feel like it's way too much. And the allotment can just feel like this big looming to-do list. And last year, there were quite a few points where I got to that. And I just had to remind myself, if you're not enjoying this, what is the point? And, you know, it's a little hobby. I'm a hobby grower, growing a few things. It helps the bills a little bit in the kitchen, but really, I have to be out here and enjoying myself. Otherwise, there's no point. You know, it's not worth it to be able to make a few hot sauces and have a sack of potatoes if you're getting stressed about it all the time. And if that's you, if you feel a bit like that with your allotment, and you feel like it's a stress all the time, it might just be that you kind of need to tweak the way you think about it and allow yourself, you know, if you've got this list of loads of big jobs and you've only got 20 minutes, well, go and have a cup of tea at the allotment for 20 minutes. Just enjoy the place, just enjoy having it and don't feel guilty. And I can almost guarantee you, when it comes to the next time that you have a bit of time and you want to go to the allotment, you'll enjoy it that bit more. And what will often happen is once you're there, you're just here to enjoy it, like today, for me today, you'll see that actually there are some things that you can do as a little job. And today, after all this, I'm gonna be having a little greenhouse clear out. And that's a job I love and I'm quite looking forward to, and I'd kind of forgotten because it's a little job, you know, and when I've got all these big jobs that need doing, sleepers, greenhouse prep, compost bay renovations, that I can't do because of the frozen ground, well, it's nice to find a little win, you know, in a little job that you can do. That is my main advice. The easiest and the hardest thing to do, nothing. Let me know what you think about this one. I'm really intrigued to hear about people's different experiences. Does this resonate with you? You know, are you a stressed gardener or do you always find it easy? And let me know if you think I've been talking absolute nonsense. There will be a few of you out there, I'm sure, who are just like, what are you talking about? It's easy. Just get out there and do it and enjoy it. I do sort of sympathise with that, but yeah, thank you ever so much for watching. I really hope you found this one useful, you got something out of it, and hopefully I'll see you again next time.